Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. Now thanks to Vlad, who is a long-time subscriber of my channel, we do have some rank 4 Stealth Suit Spider-Man footage to showcase for you guys. I do have quite a few clips, hopefully we're gonna get through as many of them as we can, but I do think I might, hopefully I will have quite an interesting announcement to make, because I have been absolutely enjoying these rank 4 champion showcases. And I do plan on trying to continue them for as long as possible. And there might be a few interesting things also to talk about in regards of all the video submission process and stuff like that. So either way, here we can see that this is a rank 4 6-star Stealth Suit Spidey with no liquid courage, no double edge, but already level 1 that crit for 19 hits. Obviously, one thing to immediately note, Stealth Suit Spider-Man's combo hit count meter thing is quite inflated, obviously due to the 7-hit combo. However, when it actually comes to the the length of the fight, obviously he does have quite significant damage output. In fact, even though Stealth Suit Spider-Man might not be the most favorite champion of mine in the game, when I did do my mini account series, he was the first 4-star champion I got, and I did a ton of content with him. So here we can see nice 40k plus level 2, and obviously in situation like this, the Winter Soldier is very persistently and quickly being chopped down with almost guaranteed crits. It's also quite interesting that these crits do not count as guaranteed. Obviously, it's just a very high chance to crit, and that does have its advantages at times. Let's say against Ebony. I do also have a Realm of Legends fight against Rhino here. Against Rhino, obviously, you do have class advantage now. One point that I wanted to excel again is that there is a new synergy for Stealth Suit Spider-Man that will likely make him even more versatile, because that will finally let his power control pre-fight, that Enervate, shine. So I'm actually kind of looking forward to see Stealth Suit Spider-Man with that synergy in action in particular. Here we can see again, the base idea is quite simple. You inflict your web cartridge debuff on opponent, replace it to gain fury, activate level 1 in order to gain precision, and after that point the fight is fairly straightforward. You just want to nuke down in your opponents, dash back frequently enough in order to bypass, in order to pause the fury and the cruelty, and basically you can maintain them up for the remainder of the fight. Here we can see nearly 50k damage on that level 2, and that Rhino goes down just like that. Again, the hit count is quite inflated, keep that in mind. There is about 40% more hits in his combo than an average champion would. So when you see 69 hits, it realistically is more like, 45 or something like that. Okay, let's go to 645 Adaptoid. So this is the Hydra Adaptoid boss, and it is actually a fairly frustrating fight. The one thing that makes this fight easier, obviously, the fact that he doesn't have level 3, but all that power gain, all that unstoppable, combined with limber, combined with regeneration, and combined with being immune to armor breaks, immune to ability accuracy reduction, immune to bleed and poison as a robot champion, there aren't that many great counters for this fight, to be fair. However, Stealth Suit Spider-Man was one of the OG counters for this fight, because obviously you can apply your slow pre-fight, and with that pre-fight you can easily kind of maintain the rhythm in this fight. Not much to worry about there. So here again, no unstoppable to worry about, very easy. You do want that Hydra Adaptoid to use his special attacks, because this node also has a Matador lane on. But now that he has gotten his long duration, because if you refresh a debuff using your level 2, it gets basically doubled the duration. Then at this point he just wants to get to level 3, and when he does, then he will have his web cartridges reloaded, and rest of the fight is going to be cake. You will have absolutely nothing to worry about. So here we go, he is going to get his 5 web cartridges back after level 3, but here we can see that Hydra Adaptoid is already only at like 36% health. So this fight isn't going to last all that long after this point either way. That is one of the critical points in the longer fights, though, Stealth Suit Spider-Man getting to that level 3 if you do want to refresh those web cartridges. Sometimes you do kind of wish additional way of getting a cartridge back would have been, appreciated. But again, in majority of the fights, it works just fine. So here he's going to go for level 2 and just finish out that fight. So now we have 714, and this was one of the parts that I actually wanted to showcase, because I do remember using Stealth Suit Spider-Man for this fight in particular, because if you do hit opponent's block, opponent gets stunned, and then there is stun vulnerability involved, and it was a very, very fun lane. Now, I do understand that majority of you do not know those nodes, but again, I just basically kind of went over them. There's stun vulnerability that improves your damage output by 200% if you do stun while opponent's under stun. Then on top of that, when you do strike opponent's block, you have a chance to basically block break and stun the opponent. And those are kind of like the main things in this fight. So here he has his Fury, his Precision, and he just wants to hit the opponent's block. Again, the stun gets activated, wonderful. And now again, just go hit opponent's block, and look at the damage. Opponents are being absolutely nuked down. There was some node that had something to do with Unstoppable as well, but that node wasn't too important in this context at the very least. And here he just goes for a combo to finish it up. So let's just speed it up to the next fight. It's basically the same thing. He again applies his slow pre-fight. And again, the mission statement kind of remains the same. You do want to drop your 2 combos, replace that slow in order to gain that Fury, and use a level 1. Now you have Fury active, you have Precision active, and you just need to dash back now and then to maintain them, and rest is basically just hit in their block. They will get stunned. Once they get stunned, they take a lot of damage. Very easy. Not much to worry about. We can see that they are dropping very, very quickly. 38 hits and under. So let's just fast forward here against Hulk, the same lane. I do have full path recorded here, but I think I will leave it because we do have quite a lot of clips to go through still, and we have been going for a while. So I'll leave the second part of this path, and then we're going to jump to 745. I'm actually curious what he recorded in 745. Here against Hulk, obviously he also has class advantage, which is quite awesome. And again, that Fury is still active. He replaces that slow just in time as well to refresh his Fury on top of that. And again, he just needs to hit the block, get an opening, and enjoy all that extra damage here. Definitely lots of yellow numbers, undeniable large amount of yellow numbers in all of these fights. Let's go to 745. Let's check out what this lane was. Ooh, this was one of those, one of the more annoying lanes, I'm gonna say. So we have Hard Knock Life, Special Burst Lockdown. Hey, we're back to English. We're back to English. Sweet. Now I can actually see what's happening. I do read Russian, but not well enough to understand those long and complicated node descriptions. And, you know, my vocabulary is also limited in Russian. So English is much, much, much better. So here, oh, that's a cool interaction because you can pause the foresight furies and stuff like that as well, which is quite cool. I actually didn't realize that necessarily about Stealth Suit Spidey, because he pauses all of his passives, and that includes furies from node like foresight or stuff like that. That's actually very, very cool. I absolutely love that. I genuinely love that. I think it's brilliant. I think it's absolutely amazing. And that foresight node obviously gives you 200% damage increase, 200% attack, and just having that paused at all times. So it seems awesome. It seems absolutely fantastic, to be honest. 27k crit there, not too bad. All right, that's quite sweet. I like that bit. I like that bit quite a lot. And do we have more fights here? Yes, we do. Let's fast forward to the next one. And Spider-Gwen. Obviously, against Spider-Gwen, Spider-Gwen was actually very tricky because I didn't necessarily bring the best counter for this fight, but still, Spider-Gwen can be a very tricky opponent, but obviously, thanks to the slow debuff, you do have much, much, much easier time dealing with the champion by taking away that pesky evade that she has, and you do not have too much to worry about past that point. The only thing that you do need to keep an eye out for is obviously keeping up that slow for as long as possible. And it does seem that he might run out of cartridges here. He only has one cartridge left. and he's not close to his level 2, so he might have to refresh it before he gets to level 2 and hope that he nukes down the Spider-Gwen just in time, which is what he does now. So we have no cartridges left here. So this is one of those higher stress situations, because as soon as this slow expires, he needs to get to level 3. But he goes for level 2, hoping to finish out the fight, which he nearly did. She's at 3%. And now that a wait did sneak in at the very end, but again, it was already too late. Now we have Ronin, and again, he does not have an evade or unstoppable to worry in this fight, so he uses his default pre-fight, which inflicts the fragile debuff on the opponent, which improves your critical damage, which is just basically your standard damage pre-fight. And with that, obviously, you just kind of end up hitting harder. And on the upside, there's a lot less pressure trying to maintain this pre-fight on the opponent at all times, because you can just, do without it for a bit until you get to level 2. He activates his fragility here again nonetheless, and now starts plowing into Ronin. Ronin's at 55%. And let's see how good this level 2 shoots. So we have here 26k damage at times 2, so that was like, what, 52k? Not too bad. And yeah, that Ronin is gonna be nothing but a toast in just a second. Next, we will have several clips from Alliance War as well, which were probably the clips that I was looking forward the most. So this is Alliance War 1. Well, at least the clip is titled Alliance War 1. And evidently the first fight is going to be Hitmonkey. Now this, if I'm not mistaken, well, it's path 5, so it's going to be either Ebb and Flow Knockdown or Ebb and Flow Intercept node. Not entirely which one of those it was at the first glance. But there is going to be some Ebb and Flow stuff happening. And immune to ability accuracy reduction. Interesting. Okay, let's see how this fight goes. So we can see that with that protection, obviously, Hitmonkey is not necessarily taking all that much damage. And when you do... So this is the knockdown node, Ebb and Flow knockdown. And Stealth with Spider-Man is actually brilliant for this as well, because, yeah, you can just pause that Fury. And because of you pausing that Fury at all times, basically, or most of the time anyways, the protection doesn't come back on. Man, this is kind of cool. This is actually making me rethink my personal opinion about Stealth with Spidey. There's definitely more to the guy with these node interactions than I realized. Again, love commenting on these things, because these are just some of the things that I hadn't thought about, and that was a brilliant interaction. Ebb and Flow Intercept, Ebb and Flow Knockdown. So you knock down the opponent and just keep pausing the passive Fury, and he never gets his protection back. Just sweet. I love that. That's awesome. And obviously here is going to be one of the showcases of the extra ability Stealth Suit Spider-Man has when opponents inflicted about slow. A lot of people mistakenly think that Stealth Suit Spider-Man slow prevents miss, but it's actually inaccurate wording. It's that Stealth Suit Spider-Man has a ability that prevents him from missing whilst opponent's under slow. So Stealth Suit Spider-Man slow is no different from any other slow. It's not a slow that has extra ability on it. It's just that Stealth Suit Spider-Man has the ability to bypass miss if opponent's affected with slow. That is kind of the bigger difference there. And, details matter. Details matter. Either way, here we can see that he's going up against that Ebony Maw, again pausing that passive Fury there. And now, unfortunately, he does get degenerated. Man, that Ebony Maw is a nasty guy to go up against in defense, though. But again, by pausing the Ebb and Flow passive Fury, it just makes that fight so much more easy. I absolutely love these interactions. I really do. And now we have a Nihilus mini-boss. This could be quite interesting. So this is the Limber Brute Force mini-boss. And he's going to activate the slow again. So whenever, slow is active, then you don't need to worry about dashing back with those stifles on. So I'm sure that can turn out to be quite useful against Nihilus as well. And let's see how he does then, shall we? Right, so he starts with a light, finishes, and already activates slow. And very easy. Now he can dash back even with stifles on him, and doesn't have too much to worry about there. Unfortunately, this fight does have Liquid Courage Double Edge active, so that Annihilus is also kind of offing himself as well. It's not all Stealth with Spidey's damage there, but obviously he does work very well for this fight. And being rank 4, he is significantly, you know, tankier and chunkier than the regular Stealth with Spideys that we see. And yeah, it must feel much safer to use him in Alliance War as well as a rank 4 champion. Either way, huge thank you to Vlad, and yeah, that has been rank 4 Stealth with Spidey gameplay. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I shall catch you guys soon. See ya. Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about the next